Welcome back to the Playdate by Freshly Picked. I'm your host, Kaitlin Hansen.
And I am Nia Louie.
Nia, it's been a hot minute.
It has been.
How have you been?
So good. So tired, but good.
Okay, I love it. And you are coming to us with fresh hair.
Yes.
You haven't been on with your new hairstyle.
Yeah.
I love it. You did it yourself.
I did.
Okay, I'm like so impressed. I cut my own hair like a couple weeks ago. And I FaceTimed my mom like while I was doing it. And she was like, the back looks really bad. And I was like, oh gosh. And my best friend does my hair and also lives next door to me.
Yeah.
And she's like, you're so dumb. Like, why don't you just like come over and get it cut? And I was just too impatient. So I have like all the respect in the world for that because it's not that easy.
It isn't.
No.
It's fun though. It's really fun.
No, that's super fun. I saw on your Insta that your little boy had surgery. Tell us about that.
Oh, it was rough.
Ugh.
He's on like day 12 now.
Okay, of getting tonsils.
So, yeah, tonsils and adenoids.
And
removed.
adenoid.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was rough. It was really rough.
Yeah. Okay, so tell me, like, how did you know that he needed to get that out?
He just hasn't slept through the night and snores and wakes up and like you can just tell that he has like trouble breathing.
Yes.
And so when he was 2, we asked about it and they were like, we can't really do anything until he's 3.
Yeah.
And so they were like, just wait. And then it was still like they were so swollen. They were like touching his uvula.
Like he had the kissing tonsils is what they call them. Okay.
It was rough. And so I was like, let's just do it. Like, let's just get it done. And so.
And is that the first surgery that any of your kids have had?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's like scary.
I was a basket case.
I would be the same.
So much anxiety. Because it's like he's going under. I don't know. I mean, I know it's a routine surgery, but my brain always goes like, he's going to die.
Like worst case scenario. I would be the same way. My little girl needs to get hers out. And I just am like, oh gosh, I know I'm like going to be a wreck and like have so much anxiety during it until like she wakes up and she's like more with it.
Yeah.
But where did you have the surgery done?
The Central Utah Surgical Center.
Okay.
In Provo.
Yeah. I went there.
Yeah.
I got my tonsils out in December.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How was that for you?
Honestly, it wasn't that bad.
Good.
Like, I think I was prepping for the worst. So I've had a brother-in-law get his out like in the last, I don't know, I think like 5 years. My sister got hers out and my sister-in-law. And so in my head, I was just like, this is going to be the worst thing in the whole entire world. We had hit our deductible for the year. And so I'm like, maybe this was dumb of me, but I got it done on the 19th of December.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. And like my birthday's on the 23rd. It just was like the only time the doctor could do it. And I'm like, we already hit our deductible. I'm like, I just want it done. Yeah. And I've been putting it off for years because it just was never the right time. I was working full time and I'm like, I can't take off 2 full weeks of work. And then I had like young babies and it just never was the right time. And then I was like, okay, Christmas break. My husband will be home. My mother-in-law is not working. So she'll be able to help with the kids. My mom can help with the kids. I'm like, everybody's around.
Yeah.
And then it was kind of nice too, because I don't know if you like feel this way, but I feel like during the holidays, especially around like the 19th, I just start to get so sick of like all the activities and all the events and parties and running. And it felt so good to be like, hi, I'm canceling Christmas. If you want to come see us, we'll be at our house. And like, we're not doing anything.
Yeah.
Which made me think like, maybe I should I don't need a surgery to do that. I should just like update it. But it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
I think I got like the kids version of the surgery, which is, so they have the intracapsular and the extra. So they don't take like the whole sack or something. I don't even know what I got, but they removed that. And then I didn't have an adenoid because you outgrow your adenoid. Did you know that?
I had no idea.
I didn't either.
I
was
didn't even
like,
know what an adenoid was until we talked to the ear, nose, throat specialist.
Yeah. No, I know nothing about the human
I was like,
body.
sure, you can take that out while you're
I'm like, whatever, may as well.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, yeah. So adults like I think he said 15, you like
they
outgrow
like
it.
Away.
Yeah, they like outgrow. Yeah, it goes away. Yeah.
Ugh.
So strange. But good. I'm glad like the surgery went well. How's the recovery been?
Honestly, now it's good. The surgeon said the first 10 days, you'll regret it.
Yeah.
But then the next 98 years, you'll be glad that
And
you
then
did
he's
it.
your middle.
He's my middle.
Okay.
Yeah.
How old?
3.
3.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he's a terror anyways.
Oh, I know that.
So
Like I have terrors, so.
But it was rough, but he did really well. He refuses to take medicine, so I felt like a drug dealer. I was like crushing up pills and putting it in his like.
But I'm like, you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do. Yeah.
Did you get the one thing that my sister-in-law told me to get? They have like numbing suckers.
Yes.
Did you get those?
Yeah.
They taste gross, but I was like, sweet, I will lick these lollipops because when like the scabs fall off, it's like.
Yeah, he coughed up a scab and I was like,
you're like, I'm not doing this. Yeah.
Like, no.
Oh.
But he's doing good now.
Okay.
He's doing good.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Hopefully he's on like the up and up and it's only a couple more days.
Yeah, for sure.
I love it. What else has been going on?
Oh, my husband was gone all week with the recovery and my other 2 kids got sick. And so I have not had a lot of sleep.
Gosh. You're like in the thick of it.
Yeah. He got home yesterday and I was like, okay.
You're like, I need a nap.
I'm done. Thank you.
Oh, so. He was gone for a whole week.
Well, from Monday to Thursday night.
I mean, that's a whole week.
Basically, yeah.
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 I bet it felt like 10 days.
Oh, roughest time. It was so hard.
Oh my gosh. And then how old's your oldest?
He's 6.
6.
Yeah.
Okay. So 6, 3, and then how many
6 months old.
Okay. Oh,
yeah.
She's so cute.
She's amazing.
Oh.
I love her.
Is she doing good at sleeping?
No.
Oh, yeah. Gosh dang it.
It's fine.
My kids don't
the
sleep.
Life that I live.
Yeah. I'm like every night they're like in my bed, one day I know I'll sleep.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just not happening anytime soon.
Not at all.
Yeah. No, I like it. Well, today we are talking about bonding with your partner, postpartum, and all that comes with that. So I'm excited to dive on into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yay. Okay. I love it. And I see you brought some little cards.
I did. Yeah.
I'm excited. This is going to be good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, talk to me about how the postpartum journey was for you just in general.
Yeah. I mean, it was different every time. I feel like I struggled with different things each time.
Yeah.
The first postpartum, I was single, so I didn't have a spouse to reconnect with.
Yes.
Second one, I feel like we were both learning how to be partners.
Yeah. Well, especially because you did the first one alone.
Right.
So then it's like you're having to let another person in.
Yeah.
And
I felt like I was
have its own challenges.
Overly independent.
Yeah.
Because I was a single mom for 3 years. And so I was like, I got this. And so with that postpartum, I was like in that same mindset. And he had to be like, listen,
he's like, I'm here to help.
Let me help you. Like, let me in. Tell me what you need. And so I feel like this third one, we figured it out.
Yeah.
And I'm really good now at
Yay.
telling him what I need. And
good.
He's so willing. I could tell him I need a Frosty right now.
Yeah.
Or I need 3 hours of don't touch me, take the kids away. You know, like he's willing to do whatever as long as I communicate it with him.
Yeah.
So
no, I like that and appreciate that.
Yeah.
One thing that I like talk to my friends about sometimes, and I think it can be tricky for partners, is when you are like in the thick of motherhood with young kids, they're always like needing something and touching you.
Mm-hmm.
And like by the end of the day, I feel like so touched out where I'm like, I just don't want to be touched. And it's sad for your partner too, because it's like they need that. I don't know for everybody, but my husband's like his love language is physical touch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's my last like love language.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard for me to remember to give him like that sort of attention and whatnot.
Right.
And I encourage everybody to take the love language test, and often, because mine changed.
Mm-hmm.
Mine used to be like words of affirmation. And then I don't know like what sparked, but I'm like, not that like, oh, you're lying, but I'm like, you're just saying that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, now it's like actions, like acts of service.
Acts of service is mine too.
Yes. And quality time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I see him like doing the dishes and cleaning up, I'm like, oh my gosh, you're so hot.
Oh, there's nothing hotter than a clean kitchen.
Literally.
Oh my gosh.
I tell him that all the time. I'm like, you're upping your chances of getting some if the house is clean and I have a clear mind. Like if things are taken care of, I am way more
Then you can actually relax.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard this quote that said, men are like microwaves and women are like ovens.
Oh my gosh.
So men are like microwaves. You push a button, they're ready to go. Oh,
that's so true.
And women need to preheat. Women need to, and mine are words of affirmation and acts of service. So like if he's serving me throughout the day, I am like,
you're like, what can I do for you?
Let's go.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a 12-hour foreplay throughout the day.
No, that's a great way to put it. Yeah. I like the oven and the microwave. I've never heard that. I'm going to start using that.
He could do it at any time of day.
Yeah.
A split second. And I'm like,
yeah.
Give me a minute. Like,
I'm like, I need like more than a minute. I'm on sertraline, an antidepressant, and that just like decreases. I was telling my therapist, I'm like, I hope this is fine that I say this, but I'm like, I've got the libido of a corpse. Like it is a non-existent. So I'm like, I need all the things. I'm like, if my kids are showered, bathed, fed, I'm like, there's nothing better than like coming home to that and like a clean house. And then I'm like, okay,
we can do that.
Yeah. I'm like, I can focus now because I'm not thinking about other things. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I like it. One other thing that you can use outside of intimacy and things like with connecting is new hobbies and new interests. Like when you've had your babies, do you guys have hobbies that you like to do together, or have you had to like kind of discover some of that?
Yeah, I feel like it's hard to have the time.
Yes.
Even like our dates, especially because I'm breastfeeding, I can't be gone
dates
for
are
super
tricky.
long. Yeah. But I feel like just like, I mean, we do these cards, which I have here.
I can't wait.
We will like take turns showing each other. Like he likes different movies than me.
Yeah.
And so we take turns like, I'll watch one of your movies. Or, And so I feel like just like being intentional about that time, because it's so easy to get to the end of the night and just scroll and sit. Oh,
that's what I do. I go like in a TikTok.
Yeah. Yeah. I could do it for hours, hours. And I have to remind myself like, okay, right. Let's talk. Like, how are you? How's your day? Who are you? I don't know anymore.
Yeah. Well, do your kids go to bed? Like, what time do they go to bed?
They're in bed by 8:30.
Okay, that's nice. That's what I try to aim for too. So it's like the nighttime is your time.
Yes.
I mean, for me, when my husband like is done with work until bedtime, it is pure chaos.
Oh, 100%.
Like,
just like, let's get to bedtime.
It's like, I don't even talk. We don't even talk. We just look
like,
at
you
each
get
other.
that one. I'll get this one. Let's go do this. Dinner, bath time. Like it's,
Yeah. Chaos. So like nighttime is your time to be with each other. Yeah. And I've fallen in the habit so many times of just like, I get into bed and I'm like, I don't want to talk. I like don't even have the bandwidth to like follow a movie. I feel bored of like all my shows, and it's so hard to like snap out of that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, wait. So tell me about these cards.
Okay, well, I think I saw them on either Instagram or TikTok or something, and
they gotcha.
It's just like intimacy. It's 150 prompts, and there's different like areas. So there's past, random, life, relationship, intimacy, and about you.
Okay, cool.
And so we actually just started them over.
Fun.
And you just pick one and ask each other the questions, and it just helps you start a conversation, because sometimes at night you're just like, I don't
know. Well, and I get into the habit of like just talking about kids on like, if we want to date, I'm like, we're just like talking about the kids. And it's like, no, let's like talk about us and like what our plans are and like all that stuff.
It's been honestly so fun to like get to know each other with that. Even like the past ones, I'm like, oh, I didn't know that about your childhood. That's crazy. Yeah. So it's questions that like you may not, they don't come up just naturally, and it's been so fun.
Okay, cool. So like, fun. Do you do it like in the car? Do you do it daily?
We try to do it daily,
like at night,
a couple cards a night, or whatever, a couple questions. And sometimes we get so into that we do like 5 cards or whatever. And it's really fun. Sometimes the intimacy ones, they're like, it gets you kind of like, because I didn't grow up talking about intimacy.
Yeah, me either.
In a religious household, it was like kind of taboo. And so even talking about it with my husband, I'm like, ooh, you want to talk about our fantasies? Like, I don't know.
No, that like, I feel like I'm a open book and like can talk about anything. But the second it like actually turns real and he's like, hey, tell me what you like. And I'm like,
Like, I don't know.
I don't
Whatever.
know.
It's fine.
I'm like, it's fine. It's good.
Yeah.
And that's so funny because it's like the person that you are the closest with. So I'm like, I love that opens up the door of conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, wait. So let's read some.
Oh gosh. Okay. Let me just randomly pick one.
Yeah.
This one says, some of them get real. This one says, I feel the least loved when you.
Oh. Okay, but that's good because how hard is it to start a conversation like that?
Right. Because, it opens it up to be like, it was the question, so let's talk about it.
Like, it's not just me being like, hey, I hate when you do this.
Right.
Yeah.
And we have this attitude of like, let's just be open with each other.
Yeah.
And like, anything you say, I'm not going to hold against you. Like,
right.
Let's just, figure this out or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's helped us like, I did not know that bothered you. I am so sorry. Like, I had no idea, know? So.
Well, and I feel like sometimes, at least in my relationship, I'm always the one that's like more vocal about if something bugs me. And my husband's like so passive, golden retriever energy that's like, he just bebopping around.
Yeah.
And so I think without those like prompts or without me communicating and having those conversations, it's hard to like bring that up in a natural way.
Yeah.
And then one thing that I'm sure you have to do too is like go in with just like such an open mind and like not combative, not
ready to be offended.
Yes. Yeah.
It is a lot. You have to change your mindset. I feel like in marriage, you have to try to see your partner at their best.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy naturally, like the natural man is, in my mind, I'm like nitpicky. And I'm like, you're doing that wrong.
Yes.
And I've had to like reset my mind to be like, he's amazing. He's doing such a good job. He's so supportive.
Yeah.
And then communicating that with him. And thinking so highly of him that the little things, they don't matter. It doesn't matter if he throws his underwear on the ground instead of the hamper. Like, like the little things kind of just melt away when you see them in a light of like, he's so amazing.
Yes.
Like, they are so good to me. And it just kind of makes the annoying things less annoying.
I need to probably do a better job about that. But it's so hard. And then I think when you throw kids into that too, it's just a whole other mix. I feel like I've had to really take a step back and work with my therapist about, I'm such a control freak. And so even just like with my girls, the way that he does things differently, I'm like, ooh, that's not what I would dress him in. And I have to just be like, he got them dressed. And like that is enough. And like, why do I care so much?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our parenting skills as parenting styles were very different at the beginning because he came in instant dad.
Yeah.
Like my son was almost 3 when we got married.
Yeah.
And he comes from a Polynesian household, Tongan. And they're very like, don't cry, knock it off, Yeah. And I had to be like, you got to get down on his level and be like, hey, I'm so sorry. That sucks that you're, that someone took your toy or whatever. Like, as irrational as their crying tantrums can be, you have to meet them at their level.
Yes.
And so it was such an adjustment to allow him to parent.
Yeah.
It was very hard because I was in it. I was like, this. I am the only parent, so I'm going to do everything or whatever. And so when he came into the mix, I was like, I have to give him some control and allow him and talk about it. Talk about what our goals are as a parent and how we want to handle certain things. And it was so hard. It was so hard because I was like, don't do that. Oh my gosh. Like, that's not how I do it or whatever.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure that would be so much harder, especially like already having one coming. Yeah. And being like, oh, that's my kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's always been so open to anything. He's like, okay, I'm so sorry. Yeah, let's talk about it.
That's amazing.
Why do you do it that way or whatever? And so I've never felt like I have to hold back what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Because I know he'll receive it with an open mind. It might take him a minute.
Yeah.
To be like, that's okay. Like,
Yeah.
And so we talk it out and it's great, but it took a lot of conversations.
Yeah. Well, it really is crazy because, I mean, you're taking 2 people that grew up completely different ways and then being like, here you go.
Raise a family together.
Yeah. And I think too, those are always like your parenting methods are always changing and differ from kid to kid because each kid has, specific needs. And so it is the constant communication that needs to happen because it is ever evolving and ever changing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Do you guys do date nights away from the kids?
Yes, we do. Luckily, right now, we live with my parents.
That's the best.
And my mom is always like, do you guys need to get out? I'm like, yeah, totally.
Like, yeah,
I'll
we
take
do.
every opportunity.
Oh my
and
gosh,
sometimes we like sit down at dinner on our date and be like, hi.
Yeah.
Are you okay? Like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, oh, I do like you. This is, like it was so, we jumped in. We'd never had a time where we didn't have kids.
Yeah.
But it's just nice to date each other and be
I'm
you're
sure.
so hot. And this is so fun,
Yeah, just actually be alone.
Yeah. But so because we're with my parents, we get to have a lot more date nights than usual. But when we weren't with them, we would kind of do at-home dates. Like he would go and get takeout.
Yeah. Which that's my actual ideal date.
I love at-home dates.
Yeah, same.
And then just like having a planned activity and intentional, like let's do a puzzle or like let's whatever. And so it's fun.
That's fun. I lived with my parents while we were building our house. And I'm like, all the time, I'm like, I want to move back in.
Yeah.
Because it's so convenient to just be like, oh, I'm just going to like run a quick errand while my baby's asleep because my mom's there. Or we put our kids to bed and then we can go out and get ice cream or go see a movie. Things like that. And you're not like rushing back to a sitter or I loved living with my parents. Like it was incredible.
A dream.
Yeah.
It's been amazing. I mean, my parents are the greatest humans in the world. Like just so great. And so, and I always ask him, especially when we first moved in, I was like, are you okay? Like, do you feel comfortable here? Because I am, because this is my house.
Right.
Like, these are my parents. And he's like, honestly, I feel like this is my home. Like, this is good. So
I did the same thing with my husband. I'm like, is this like okay? Are you okay?
Yeah.
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 That's fun. I keep trying to get like a family member, somebody to like move into my basement. We're like finishing like an apartment in our basement. And I'm like, please, like to all my cousins, I'm like, please move in. I'm like, I would just love it because then I can still like escape for a date night or just like have an extra set of hands when I need it or like if I'm in a pickle. Yeah. So really looking for somebody to live in my basement.
We will eventually have my husband's parents live with us when we have our own home because he's the only child. And so I know that will happen. And I'm excited for it.
I love like the idea of multi-generational living.
Yeah, I don't know
like
why
that's
it's not more
so
of a thing.
healthy for families.
Yeah, it's great.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Any other like tips or things that you want to tell everyone about? Just like ways to connect postpartum with your husband, or just like forget the postpartum, just like with kids.
Right. I mean, I think the biggest thing is obviously communication. And being intentional and meeting them where they're at. Like if they're having a frustrating day, give them that space and don't be like, well, I've had a frustrating day too. Like,
Yes.
It's really easy to be snappy. Oh. Really easy to see the bad, the, and so I think being like recognizing that you are your husband's number one fan, number one supporter, and to see him in that light of like, he's my number one fan. He's my number one supporter. And so just giving them the benefit of the doubt and having patience and love for them has changed our relationship.
That's such incredible advice that I need to take. I'm like so snappy.
Oh, I get snappy. Like when he got home last night from the business trip, I was like, hi.
You're like, here they are.
I'm trying really hard to be happy that you're home, but I'm losing my mind.
Yeah.
And so it takes a little more self-control to not say everything that's on your mind. Because if I said everything on my mind,
you're like, things would not be good.
It would be rough.
Yes.
But yeah, just seeing them in a good light.
Yeah. No, I really like that. Well, send us in your tips and tricks and advice that you have. And thanks for listening.
Yeah, thank you.